5 seconds. Start. The topic thought is one area of psychology, and many observers have considered this aspect in connection with robots and computers. Some of the old worries about artificial intelligence were closely linked to the question of whether computers could think. The first intelligence was closely linked to the question of whether computers could think. The first massive electronic computers capable of rapid computation and little or no creative activity were soon dubbed electronic brains. A reaction to this terminology quickly followed. To put them in their place, computers were called high speed idiots, an effort to protect human vanity. But not everyone realized the implications of the high speed idiot tag. It has not been pointed out often enough that even the human idiot is one of the most intelligent life forms on earth. If the early computers were even that intelligent, it was already a remarkable state of affairs. One consequence of speculation about the possibility of computer thought was that we were forced to examine with new care the idea of thought in general. It soon became clear that we were not sure what we meant by such terms as thought and thinking. We tend to assume that human beings think, some more than others, though we often call people thoughtless or unthinking. Dreams cause a problem, partly because they usually happen outside our control. They are obviously some type of mental experience, but are they a type of thinking? And the question of non human life forms adds further problems. Many of us would maintain that some of the higher animals, dogs, cats, apes, and so on, are capable of at least basic thought. But what about fish and insects? It is certainly true that the higher mammals show complex brain activity when tested with the appropriate equipment. If thinking is demonstrated by evident electrical activity in the brain, then many animal species are capable of thought. Once we have formulated clear ideas on what thought in biological creatures is, it will be easier to discuss the thought in artifacts. And what is true of thought is also true of the many other mental processes. One of the immense benefits of thought is also true of the many other mental processes. One of the immense benefits of artificial intelligence research is that we are being forced to scrutinize with new rigor the working of the human mind. It is already clear that machines have superior mental abilities to many life forms. No fern or oak tree can play chess as well as even the simplest digital computer, nor can frogs weld car bodies as well as robot. The three-fingered mechanical manipulator is clever in some ways than the three-toed sloth. It seems that viewed in terms of intellect, the computer should be set well above plants and most animals. Only the higher animals can, it seems, compete with computer with regard to intellect, and even then with diminishing success. Some of the world's best players are now computers. The Sahara sets a standard for dry land. It is the world's largest desert. Relative humidity can drop into the low single digits. There are places where it rains only about once a century. There are people who reach the end of their lives without ever seeing water come from the sky. Yet, beneath the Sahara are vast aquifers of fresh water, enough liquid to fill a small sea. It's fossil water, a treasure laid down in prehistoric times, some of it possibly a million years old. Just 6,000 years ago, the Sahara was a much different place. It was green. Prehistoric rock art in the Sahara shows something surprising: hippopotamuses, which need year round water. We don't have much evidence of a tropical paradise out there, but we had something perfectly livable, says Jennifer Smith, a geologist at Washington University in St. Louis. The Green Sahara was the product of the migration of the Paleo monsoon. In the same way that ice ages come and go, so too do monsoon migrate north and south. The regular cycle, sometimes the planet is more tilted toward the sun, sometimes less so. The axis also wobbles like a spinning top. The date of Earth's perihelion, its closest approach to the sun, varies in a cycle as well. At times, when the northern hemisphere tilts sharply towards the sun and the planet makes its closest approach, the increased blast of sunlight during the North's summer months can cause the African monsoon, which currently occurs between the equator and roughly 17° north latitude, to shift to the north as it did 10,000 years ago, inundating North Africa. Around 5,000 years ago, the monsoon shifted dramatically southward again. The prehistoric inhabitants of the Sahara discovered that their relatively green surrounding were undergoing something worse than a drought, and perhaps they migrated toward the Nile Valley, where Egyptian culture began to flourish at around the same time. We are learning, and only in recent years, that some climate changes in the past have been as rapid as anything underway today. As the land dried out and vegetation decreased, the soil lost its ability to hold water when it did rain. Fewer clouds formed from evaporation. When it rained, the water washed away and evaporated quickly. There was a kind of runaway drying effect. About 4,000 years ago, the Sahara had become what it is today. No one knows how human-driven climate change may alter the Sahara in the future. It's something scientists can ponder while sipping bottled fossil water pumped from underground. It's the best water in Egypt, clean, refreshing mineral water. If you want to drink something good, try the ancient buried treasure of the Sahara. Stop.